The patience of Steelers fans is being tested like never before, and the reasons stem from both on and off the field. On one hand, George Pickens, one of the team's most promising talents, is facing harsh criticism from Shannon Sharpe for his attitude and commitment. On the other hand, team owner Art Rooney II's promises of change seem to be all talk, as Mike Tomlin remains at the helm despite yet another frustrating playoff elimination. Could the future of the Steelers be at risk? Don't miss a single detail of these controversies, and don't forget to leave a like to support the channel. Shannon Sharpe, the legendary tight end and now an outspoken commentator, let loose on George Pickens, the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver, following the team's 28-14 loss to the Ravens in the AFC wildcard. Pickens, who has already garnered attention for his controversial demeanor, publicly criticized the Steelers' offense, but Sharpe didn't hold back, stating, "He looks more like a sulking diva who doesn't give full effort on every play." Speaking on the talk show Nightcap, Sharpe acknowledged Pickens' frustration, but stressed that the young player should think twice before speaking out. For Sharpe, professionalism means knowing when to bite your tongue and choosing your words carefully. If he had said something like, "I see progress in the offense, I'm a young player growing with the team," that would show maturity. Even if he feels deep down, this offense isn't serious, that's how you play the game as a pro. The main issue, according to Sharpe and co-host Chad Johnson, isn't just Pickens' bluntness, but the perception that he isn't consistently giving maximum effort. Johnson, a former wide receiver known for his flamboyant style, defended Pickens, acknowledging his immense talent but admitting, "He doesn't give full effort all the time. Maybe by the first quarter he's already checked out." Sharpe went further, comparing Pickens to stars like Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua, players who, according to Sharpe, give 100% every play, even when they're not the primary target. Chase doesn't complain when the ball goes to T. Higgins. Puka doesn't slack off because Cooper Kupp is getting more targets, but with Pickens it's different. He picks and chooses when he wants to try. Sharpe also highlighted the Steelers' tradition of hard work, citing franchise legend Hines Ward as an example of the effort that fans admire. Someone needs to sit Pickens down and tell him, "You're making it hard for fans to root for you when you give up on plays or show lazy effort." While Sharpe acknowledged that Pickens is only 23 years old and has room to grow, he made it clear that youth isn't an excuse forever. He needs to grow up, be an adult, and do the right things. We all think a lot of things, but not everything needs to be said. Pickens' talent isn't in question, but the narrative around him will only change if he starts showing more commitment and consistency on the field. The ball, quite literally, is in his hands. What about you? Do you think Pickens is really acting like a diva? Or are the criticisms overblown? Share your thoughts below. And now, onto a story that could stir even more emotions among Steelers fans. What's really happening behind the scenes in Pittsburgh? The Steelers are stuck in the same cycle, and fans are starting to lose patience. A year ago, after a solid 10-7 season and a wild-card exit, team owner Art Rooney II promised significant changes. He made it clear that he was tired of early playoff exits and that it was time for Pittsburgh to become a contender in January once again. But it seems that was just lip service. According to Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Rooney's commitment to transformation might be more of a facade than reality. The evidence? Apparently, Mike Tomlin will remain head coach in 2025, despite another disappointing playoff loss and mounting public pressure. No one questions Tomlin's resume. The man is a proven winner, plain and simple. But patience is wearing thin. The coach, who has never had a losing season, is carrying a recent playoff track record that's hard to ignore. 6 straight losses, all marked by underwhelming performances. It's a pattern that runs counter to what Pittsburgh has always stood for. A team that competes for championships, not just wild-card berths. Last year, Rooney claimed that Tomlin was as impatient as anyone to take the team to the next level. According to him, Tomlin still has control of the locker room and keeps players engaged throughout the season. But honestly, are those qualities enough? Because the end result has been the same: another 10-7 season, another early playoff exit, and worst of all, no substantial changes in sight. The problem isn't just losing, but how the Steelers have been losing. In their last 6 playoff defeats, they've allowed opponents to score at least 28 points. That's not just losing, that's getting blown out. and it's tarnishing the reputation of a franchise once synonymous with Super Bowl success. It seems Pittsburgh has grown complacent. They're clinging to a foundation solid enough to avoid complete collapse, but far from competitive at the top. If this doesn't change soon, the only solution might be to start from scratch, even if that means reevaluating untouchable figures like Mike Tomlin. The Steelers are at a crossroads. On one hand, Pickens needs to realize that consistent effort is the bare minimum fans expect from anyone wearing that jersey. On the other, Rooney and Tomlin seem content with merely avoiding total failure, while fans demand a return to championship contention. It's time for bolder decisions, or the team will remain stuck in limbo. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest news.